I think the call out really is everything starts with material.
No, that's exactly. Because here's the way I see it. I'm by no means an expert, right? Like in this, but a great star or a fantastic actor, even if unknown, cannot land you a weak story, no matter what. But if the story is amazing, even if you cast an unknown
Scam.
person, but is a good actor, and you market it well, you partner well with, folks like Ajay and others, and you really let it like sweat and build out, all of a sudden you've created something with the right economics, if you will, because you had a great story. And then you tell that story, and that's how you grow this torso out.
And
that is the key. So I see your point from that perspective.
I feel it's happening. The good thing about it is it's not like it's not. I feel today, if you look at your own data on your platform, if you look at Night Manager, or if you look at Taza Cover, or for example, if you go to Netflix and see what Scoop has done, or what Scam did for Live, all of it is coming from great source material. I mean, Harshad Mehta was great source material. Game of Thrones is great source material. These are all coming from really strong. So my question is, the question that your content teams and our collective content teams need to answer is, how many new writers are coming into the business?
No, it's a fair point.
Because more to his point on Kantara is based not on Rishabh Shetty, it's based on great writing. It's based on a story.
The reality is, writers are not fettered.
If you actually, I'd recommend this to you guys and to everybody watching it. If you actually read Powerhouse CAA, it's a very interesting book, and I tend to go back to it a few times. And there you talk about the fact that you talk about how Bad Boys was birthed, right, from a writer from USC, right? Or you talk about how ER was birthed. The producers and writers of ER make money off ER till date. I would like to know whether the writers of Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bhavati make money till date. I would like to know if the writers of Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, Kusum.
By the way, these shows, I think brilliant writing. I grew up watching them. I watched Kyunki Saas Bhi Bhavati and Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki every day with my mother for, years. I know Tulsi, I know different versions of Tulsi.
So today,
I know Mihir.
Anupama is running for multiple years.
Yeah.
Today, my question is, if they're not incentivized.
Yeah, but that's a different point you're
but
making.
But that's a different point. One is them getting incentivized.
The model, I'm talking the model, because you solve the bottom.
One is, you're saying we need to find great writers who tell great stories. Today, that's just not happening. But the other point you're making is the structure of these contracts or deals, they need to be fairer.
Let's break the wheel on both sides for the wheel to be broken. Otherwise, the truth...
So why aren't there more agents representing writers, or agents going out there finding...
We are genuinely trying to do it.
But do you go out and try and find
great writers?
We are genuinely
trying. And I'm telling you, platforms like this, you're heading a platform today. You're the head of a platform. I'm the head of a big talent network, right? If we call out today saying, you know what, if you're a writer out there with 10 great ideas, send it over to us. Because see, the truth of the matter is, these are great, and the difference between CTA, right, is call to action. We can have a great drawing room conversation, a great podcast. This will reach people. They will all hear varied degrees. I mean, me being least intellectual and you guys being where you're at. But the truth of the matter is, the real impact all of this comes from a very singular point. To your point, how does Torso get created? George Clooney got created by ER, but that was in the works for years. George Clooney got created because of ER, right? Or Sex and the City happened to Sarah Jessica Parker because of a script. Yeah. So you find the script of Pratik Gandhi. Who was Pratik Gandhi before Scam?
That's your point.
Look what happened.
You know what India needs? India needs because we have all these talent hunts, right, for actors, bowlers, batsmen. India needs a talent hunt for writers.
It won't rate on your screens. You won't.
It won't rate. But see, that's the point. I think we've got to think about, how do you make it rate? How do you make it in a format that people participate?
Since all three of you benefit from something like this, maybe you play the long game and don't do it for money.
No, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
My daughter's a writer.
You and I were discussing this.
No, I hear you. I was thinking of it like, hey, it has to this. I think the point of this is, how do you do it in a manner that it is interesting? Do you know what I mean? Like, You want to do this because you want to make it interesting. You want to make writing cool. His point is it's not cool, right?
These are fundamentally creatively vulnerable people. They need to be held. They're
Oh,
not
sure.
executives.
Sure.
If you don't give them a support, if you don't give them, somebody has to wake them up every day and say, I've got your back. So to your point, my whole thing about
That's
this,
why footballers and cricketers and all have agents. Yeah, absolutely.
if we have
they're
to
just
go
good
out,
at what they.
we have to go out there and we have to say, what are the next 100 stories that we can tell? We'll figure out the format, long, short, anything. All of that is available today. You have to come and tell me that as creators of that verse, which is why I was telling sir, maybe it's time for the model to break. Because who set these rules? A board in LA? Right? But that doesn't work in India anymore because you're facing the problem. You are facing the problem. Because I am telling you from behalf of the artist community that unless I have an upside towards my creative interpretation, I don't see the need to please you. And because I'm more famous than you, you'll throw brickbats at me. Nobody will point the finger at you. Only dalals, only the street will. But hey, I'm a consumer. I don't look at the street.
I mean, just to be clear, we want to partner deeply.
No, I know. I'm saying it's an overall issue.
Artists,
it's a construct.
we are
Because
grateful.
everybody says this.
Yeah,
If you look at all articles, Bollywood undergoing a slump and etc. because A-listers charge too much. Maybe a few do.
Yeah.
But then what are we doing to change it? Are we all saying, okay, you know what, 33, 33, 33? Are we all saying, you know what, 26, 34, 45, 50? These are the ways we'll monetize. First profit out. How do we build those models in? I won't charge cost of capital. For example, you have 50% of the equity, then you charge cost of capital on top of it. Then you're taking the first waterfall out because you're the financier.
But the only thing is, just in terms of, again, I keep going back to Nikhil's theses, right? Like, what are the business ideas, etc. The only challenge is these fields are so creative, right? Acting, writing, directing, etc. I just don't see how you productionize this unless I'm missing
But
something.
it's happened, sir. It has happened in the past. And this is what the writer's strike and the SAG strike is going to lead to happen in LA.
How do you productionize great writing or great acting?
You can't assembly line it. But what you can do is you can ensure that today when a J.J. Abrams gets signed and gets popped and he creates Bad Robot, where J.J. Abrams, you can't find it, I can't find it. Hansal Mehta can find it. Because these guys have that knack. Pritam Da can find a great song. I can't. Right?
But framed another way, what I'm saying is somebody watching this says, you know what, I will revolutionize the writing industry in India. Is that possible? Is that feasible?
Let's put together a content fund that powers only content writers. Let's put aside 10 crores that will buy 100 scripts, 1,000 scripts for you.
So hold on. So then for an entrepreneur, you're saying that the person has to raise money in order to be able to do this.
I don't think this is...
No, forget about us. I'm thinking about somebody
I don't think an entrepreneur can...
He's heard you and he's saying, you know what, actually this writing industry is a big opportunity.
I'll tell you why the entrepreneur might not be able to get it. And I could be wrong. And I could be very, very wrong. And I don't want to put the carriage before the horse. This is a business that requires a Rolodex. Because even if the entrepreneur has the material, he might, how many years does it take for a good song to reach a right person? There are so many good material out there today that you'll find that will never meet it. Because how do they meet an Ajay Bijli? How do they meet a Sajith?
Oh, it's very easy to meet.
What I'm trying to say is, what this needs is e-commerce happened because one Flipkart happened. Food delivery happened because one Zomato happened.
No, but hold on. See, Flipkart, Zomato, etc. Look, they can literally, Nikhil, Zerodha, you can literally start in your room and get going. But you're saying there's no chance for anybody
I'm not
to
saying
do
there's
that
no
in this
chance.
industry.
I'm
Okay,
saying
sorry.
the odds
I'm
saying the odds are tougher. Here's what I'm saying.
So see, that's the bit, no? Then this is a hard business to get into, is kind of like what Nikhil's viewers are
the
going to
truth
take
of
away.
the truth of the matter is, if you're telling me 5 global OTT corporations are at $2 billion, 5 global OTT corporations, and the down round of a commerce startup is at $8 billion, right? This business inherently does not have the scale this business has. So it is not that easy to start.
But those are two different things, no?
It is not, sir, because
I mean, commerce is just vastly bigger than entertainment.
Understand
Just always
understand the journey. What's the journey? What's the journey of a script?
No, but Vijay,
No, just look at the path that has.
Ajay said, no, that the average was what, 12 visits to the theater
Yeah,
in the South.
in the South.
That's the max. People buy 12 things in like a week on an e-commerce
No, I'm
platform.
with you.
Right? Like,
Hence, I'm saying the barrier to entry in this business is much higher.
So there's no way to do like a UPI of script writing, for instance. Like just totally.
Will he get the time from day or from your content head? I don't think so.
No, but that's the point. No, they're likely to be 10,000 scripts. Hard for one person to kind of.
There are 6 platforms.
How can you assess like that the script's worthy of getting to that content?
There's an entire creative community that does that. How is it any different than modeling? For example,
What if you put all the scripts on a platform
possible.
and script writers rate each other and that hierarchy helps
There's a
somebody
moral
like
hazard there, no, though.
Is there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just incentivized naturally to. But how's that different from? I guess I'm just thinking aloud. Like for when scientific papers are published,
Yeah.
it's the same audio. Maybe there's a possibility.
And it's a way to
Maybe
retain
there's a possibility.
ownership because the guy who posted it will be recorded amongst that chain.
Yeah.
And he will always have credit for
But
what
Nikhil,
he
your
posted.
problem there will be even then because writing is not a front of camera sexy business. The only way to incentivize for someone to have a career in writing is by off the board announcing a commercial construct that they know that this can become a career.
So that's part of this business idea. To be
But
fair.
that announcement has to be made by the beneficiaries of him writing.
Exactly.
Which is you guys.
Which is us. That's exactly what it is.
So that's what I get.
So the truth of the matter is, if you say that you will get 2% of this scripted show for the rest of your life, and you're an owner because you're creating it, just giving 2% as an arbitrary number, right? See the excitement that it creates.
But the idea here is essentially maybe there is an Uber or an Ola for script writers where you all come together and you create some kind of this demand supply.
And there's a green lighting process or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I think somebody can build something around it. And I think at the very beginning, you
There's
don't even
something,
have to worry about copying and stuff like that. You're just giving a open space for writers to even talk and discuss and connect with each other, which I don't think is there today, right? Hi, I'm Nikhil Kamath. I'd love to know what you thought of the episode. Comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.